You know, it's quite a day today.
Really?
Because it marks the 24th year since the worst terrorist attack in American history. And filmmaker Steven Rosenbaum and his partner Pamela Yodler want to make sure that it's never forgotten by collecting over 1,000 hours of mostly previously unseen footage taken that day, donating it to the New York Public Library in order to always allow young people to come and know what went on. Because as time goes, you know, people's memories kind of change. I don't think this will ever leave any of us who were here.
No. Yeah.
You know, the visual of this is something you carry forever, regardless of where you were. So it's 24 years.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable
I
to me.
can't believe it's been 24 years,
Yeah.
but I am. I think what they're doing is really important by making this information accessible, because if we don't know our history, past becomes prologue. And I am old enough to remember that day because I was in front of a grand jury presenting a case, and I remember the U.S. Marshals coming in flak jackets and leading us out into an underground, system of tunnels that I didn't know existed.
In D.C.?
In D.C., and my family was in New York, and my husband was in Pennsylvania. And the phones went out, and you couldn't reach anybody. And it was terrifying. But I know that my kids didn't experience that, and they don't remember it, of course. They may not have even seen footage of it. And so I think this is extremely, extremely important to at least archive in the way that they're doing.
Were y'all on the air?
We were on the air. We were in the makeup room. We saw the plane hit, and we thought it was just a rogue plane. Barbara was there, and everybody. But then my daughter, the one thing about, she was on a plane going, I think she was going to school somewhere.
Right.
And I called her and I said, get off the plane, because you didn't know if there were more planes.
Right.
And,
Oh my God.
and they didn't want her to get off. They were like locked down. And she said, my mother said, get off the plane.
Do you know who my mother is?
And she got off the plane. I was worried about that. That's something, it was a terrible, terrible day.
terrible time.
Worst day. But we only thought it was one rogue plane.
Right.
But then you saw the
Then you're
second one, and then
watching,
you know.
Go ahead.
Where were you?
Well, I was going to say, more than anything, the value of those videos is we live in a time of conspiracy theories. We live in a time where people are trying to rewrite things that happened. Massive events like the Holocaust. There are people that actually don't believe that, which is why the survivor stories matter. It's why all of our stories, if you lived through it, matter. And those video footage, the video footage above all. But I was at, I was a page at NBC, and I remember the overwhelming feeling of, for days, watching downtown smoke. But it was like the most, as tragic as it all was, there was this biblical togetherness afterwards.
That's true.
That I said, if I had walked up to a stranger without any hello, I could have embraced them and they would have embraced me back. And that lasted for a while.
Years.
Yes, for a while. And it was the most beautiful I'd ever seen New York in how everyone grabbed their neighbor,
Where
whoever
were
the
you,
neighbor
Alyssa?
was.
I was 12. I was in California in junior high school, and my mom was actually in New York City that day. Every year she visited girlfriends in New Jersey, and they were going to the New York Stock Exchange.
Oh,
and I remember those hours, because you're 12, you're trying to process it. Your
Yeah.
teachers are telling you what's going on. They put the news on, and not knowing if my mom was okay. And then my sister came and got me. We realized she was. But when I was teaching at Georgetown, sorry, I'm just emotional today.
That's all right.
When I was teaching at Georgetown, I realized my students weren't alive during 9/11.
Exactly.
And it's remarkable. We forget how young kids are these days.
Yeah.
And the importance, they know about it, they've read about it, but showing them the footage. And I think reminding them of that togetherness afterward. It didn't last forever. We had the global wars on terror. We had the division that came with that. But there was a period in this country where we really were one united America, and we need to find that again.
And the world was united because everybody came to us. I was in LA on my way back because we had just shot 4 or 5 shows of Hollywood Squares. And so my bus was waiting for me, and I was sitting watching CNN, and I thought, what movie is this? Because it looked like a movie to me. And then the second plane hit, and it was like, oh my God. And my phone started ringing. People said, I need your bus. So I gave people the bus. The bus went back and forth probably 5 or 6 trips before I came back. And it was extraordinary, but it goes to show that when we put our minds to it, we can figure out what to do.
Yeah.
We can figure out what to do.
We can.
You know, and you know, it doesn't always last, but we did it during the pandemic. People came together, called and applauded. These things are not outside of our reach.
Yeah.
And we've got to get back to that.
Yeah.
We got to get back to, listen, whatever your politics are, I still got to get you up in the elevator because this is the building I'm working in. Whatever your politics are, you're the teacher, and I still got to hear what you have to say because I have put my kids in your hand. These are things we cannot forget that we actually have the ability to do. If we do forget it, I don't know what will become of the country.
Yeah.
My fingers are crossed. I'm betting on human beings.